Number 3, it's once down. You gotta watch any kind of music. They wipe the videos around Facebook,
Copyrighted stuff.
They just delete videos. I had to start saving everything, moving it to YouTube because, like, somebody would contact me, like, "Do you have a video when my son got interviewed?" And they just, like, they took like 2 or 3 years of videos and just wiped them. I don't know what I did. Oh, there it is. Make sure the volume's off. There we go. We'll try timing about 10 after show. Even though this song's got 2 minutes, that'd be about right. You always turn the wrong way. Well, you might as well have this one, Shirley.
You know what I'm going to do? Turn this down a little bit so it doesn't shine so brightly on.
Sure, they're showing my good side.
Yeah. Look at that. It's on track like the areas in every show that keeps you informed of what's happening in the world of auto racing. What's happening. I'm not saying that. I'm reading it. Right there it is.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
No, that's the stuff that you're supposed to read on the radio. They moved this thing. They moved this plastic piece. I'm going off the edge.
Well, just stay off the edge. No, sometimes it's good living on the edge.
And welcome everyone to the On Track with Mike show. I'm your host, Mike Kershner. Getting the mics fired up here. Got a good show for you tonight. Got a guy I hope has got some good stories. I know he's got good ones. I just got to get him to tell them. And man, we already got James Licklater tuning in. He wants to know if this is a roast session. Yes, it is.
Bring it.
As always, we want to thank Todd Ward of TA Ward Construction. Over 40 years of experience, local veteran. He's fully insured. He's got some extra money on the line this week at the Path Valley Speedway for the TA Ward 270 microsprints, $1,000 to win. So I'm sure everybody's thanking Todd for that. For all your home improvement needs, call Todd at 717-331-4974. And also, thanks to WRGG 93.7 FM. And you can tune in either that way or WRGG.org. Hit the Listen Live button or the On Track with Mike Facebook page. You got anything going on there, Shirley, before we get into the nitty-gritty?
Nope, nothing going on.
All right, well, without further ado, this man is tied for all-time leading four-cylinder feature winner at the Bedford Speedway. That's a title there.
Yeah.
Double championship winner this year. Crew chief and assistant crew chief, I guess you'd say. No, but all honesty, I'm joking there a little bit. It is true, but I'm joking there a little bit. But now I got a guy that was really mentored me a lot, him and a few other guys, and taught me a lot about racing, a lot about safety. And yeah, just he's been a official, a driver, built cars, numerous titles here, but his latest title is TinMan. So we got Darrell, the TinMan Schimmel, in the studio. How you doing, Darrell?
Doing great. Thanks, Chief, for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Are you happy to be here?
Yeah, I'll let you know in about an hour.
Yeah. Wait till after the roast to decide if you're happy to be here. Well, Darrell, we had you on the show. What was it? 5 years ago?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I can always rely on you to give me the honest opinion. Like if I have any questions in racing, I just message you and I'm like, "What do you think?" And you'll give me the no bull crap answer, your opinion. And I value your opinion.
Thank you.
So I don't know last time you was here if we ever got down to the humble beginnings. I know when I met you, but if I remember correctly, you started out helping Dave Padula
Nah.
or Joe Padula?
First one was Jeff Robinson. Was before
Jeff
your
Robinson,
time.
yeah, Jeff Robinson.
And then Will. And then Dave kind of lived back at the garage when he had that Simulate car, but mostly Will. And then it took off from there.
Took off from there, nothing but good. Don't be scared of that, Mike. he won't.
Pushing his face.
I'm not. If you don't push it so far, Shirley, it shoots back at you. He looked at me like he was.
Whoa.
He's gonna send it back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked at me like what?
Spinning around backwards.
He looked at me like what does this show exactly instill in me? You know. But so I remember some of the stories. People love stories on this show, Darrell. I heard stories that you all stole a race car one time.
That is true.
Was you guys the ones that lost it too?
Yeah.
In the cornfield?
In the cornfield, there by the quarry. That is true. Dave,
Tell us about that.
Well, Dave's car was at Will's place, and Dave worked for a brake manufacturer for railroad cars, and he had to go to Germany, and he told Rick Hayslip and myself that you guys can't drive the car, don't take it out of the garage. Well, he didn't tell us that Craig Klein couldn't drive the car. So we loaded it up and we're going to Hagerstown, and it come off the back of the trailer and went down through the cornfield. And when we finally did show up at Hagerstown late, and Craig wouldn't believe the story until he saw the corn stalks in the car.
And then back then, they ran zoomies on them cars.
Mm-hmm.
And
We were a little
scared
afraid to
the
start
fuel
it.
was going to get caught on fire.
Yeah.
Did Dave ever find out?
Eventually he did, but he didn't find out for a long time.
Like there was no social media back then. Like
No.
nobody could text him and be like, "Hey, Dave, I seen your car at the racetrack."
Correct. No, he was in Germany anyway, so what was he going to do?
Did Craig drive it?
Yeah.
Did
It was like one of the last races at Hagerstown. It was a daytime show. But yeah, right there by the quarry, it come off and down through the cornfield it went.
Why is Craig Klein always involved in stories like this?
Yeah, it seems that way.
He's always involved in a lot of things.
Yeah. You got anything, Shirley?
Just my sister on here,
The interwebs.
Cindy. She says hello to me, and I say hello back to her.
So, you was mainly helping Will. That's whenever. Well, I didn't meet you till probably early '90s.
Yeah.
It had been I don't know what year you had
I
the
started-
black car.
Well, the first year was '89 after I ran my mouth and got called out.
Yeah,
on
we
it.
got to talk about that too. You used to help Will,
Yep.
and you told Will that he was turning the wheel the wrong ways and
Well, just-
what he was doing wrong.
Just
Because it's
no,
easy.
absolutely.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy on
I
top of
never,
the
I
trailer.
never lost a race from the infield.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know it. And then he kind of threw the gauntlet down, and I couldn't back off at that time.
And then you built your own. You built a four-cylinder, which
We did.
some people call them mini stocks, but back
Yeah.
then it was four cylinders. And
Yep.
how'd that go for you?
I mean, I didn't come from a racing family. My dad, if you couldn't play it with a stick or a ball, it wasn't worth doing. So it was my desire to race, and I had a bunch of people surrounding me that helped me, but it was pretty much me. It's like it wasn't my dad standing there, it was me. But it turned out, I didn't start till late. Didn't start till I was like 32 years old, so I didn't have a long career, but I was happy. I wouldn't trade it.
Same here. I think you did rather well. We won a lot of races together. I don't know how many you won before me. I know you won a few, but yeah, it just one thing that I guess stood out about you was the cars. Like you put, which we all try to do, but back then, like everybody was basically skinning doors out and bolting them onto a car with like pieces of metal and
knocking the windows out.
Yeah, and I mean like you walk in the shop and like there's Darrell with his car on jack stands with a freaking sander, doing body work to this car, sanding it, and I mean it's like a work of art. Like you could have drove it down the road whenever it got done, and like back then you started seeing more of that, but like it wasn't a common thing back then.
Sure wasn't.
You get in a wreck and the body putty comes flying out.
With you racing, I know your wife was a scorer at Winchester.
And Bedford.
Well, I didn't know about Bedford, but I knew Winchester. I'd seen her there.
And that don't work out the way you think it would
Now, with her being a scorer, did you ever have any differences with her, the way she scored you during a race, or?
No, the other scorer down at Winchester, Missy, and it was like Mike Corbin was racing out of Roy Anderson's shop, and if calls were ever close, my wife would put her hand over the score sheet and let Missy in the same both ways. So I know a lot of people don't believe it, but I mean it was pretty on the up and up the whole way. And then finally, I moved on to the modifieds and got away from where she was scoring, which was probably the best thing. And then everybody thought Danny Licklater was her husband, and she was cheating for him. So
yeah,
you know how racers are.
Can you believe there was cheating involved back then?
But I remember you racing, and you was a heck of a driver.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you something. I don't want to say the argument, I'll call it debate. Every debate I had with his wife, either while I was helping Darrell or when I started driving myself, I lost. Every single one. Like she knew what she was doing, and she knew what was going on, and like you'd wait for her to come down across the track with her briefcase or whatever, and we were like, okay, Julie, when you throw the yellow, we was here, and you put me behind this guy, and she'd be like, whoa, blah, 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 and we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, bring the receipts.
Yeah. She would never lose a debate.
And that's not an easy job. I've watched her do it with a pencil. That's the way it was done back then, and it's not an easy job.
Her and Missy both was really good at it. And they knew what they was doing. I mean, they could answer any questions.
They didn't get credit for it, but yes.
Well, let's talk about, there's some funny stories with this too. And we talked about some of them a few months ago. I can't remember who was here. But Joe Padula.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the stories with Joe Padula. And he was an official for Joe Padula. And what can you did it give you like a different outlook on officials?
Absolutely. Everybody that's ever in the racing game should be an official at some point. It will change you for sure. It's not an easy job. Driving a race car is a lot easier than being official.
I stood down there with you a few times while you was doing it, and then people would come strolling down through there and be mad and everything. And it was funny when we had Joe in here the other week. Like, I have these couple stories that, like, we know from Bedford whenever you worked there. And, like, they're, like, the all-time, some of them's the funniest stories. And Joe comes in here without even knowing and starts mentioning them. And he mentioned the Terry Carlisle.
So you know they're true.
Yeah, he mentioned the Terry Carlisle one. And Terry was on the screen listening to him.
Yeah.
And about the, first was the engine claim.
Mm-hmm.
When they wanted to claim Lester's motor, and they wouldn't sell it, and the guy kept putting more money down. And then the second one was the when they said about 2 laps to go, the motor's going to start smoking.
Yeah.
And it started smoking 5 laps to go.
Yes. Lester said it wasn't supposed to do that.
Yeah. And then the guts blowed out of
Yes.
it. And like, this is stories I heard, but like, I was there for the engine claim deal, but I don't think I was there for the motor blow up deal. And like, Joe tells me the story exactly the way that I heard it. So, I mean, anything else happened while you was up there that you could think of?
Like Joe and I have had our differences over the years, but working for him, I don't have anything but good to say about him. I would run the program starting at 8 o'clock until the end of the show, and he just left me alone. And I made calls he didn't agree with, and after the races were over, we would talk about it. But he never, ever, ever overruled one of my calls, and I offer the greatest respect for that.
And you know what? You telling me this stuff has made me be able to discuss things with other officials. Like I have had officials, you know, you walk up at a racetrack, walk up somebody and they're sitting there, oh, blah, 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 you know, I'm ticked off, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, like I can tell you that, you know, I don't say Darrell Schimmel, but like the fact of you having Joe and Joe never overriding you, like
that's a big deal.
He may not agreed with you, but you discussed it after the races. He didn't
Yes.
make you look like a fool in front of the, you know,
and
the
he never
racers.
overruled it either, which was like
Yeah.
the utmost respect for that.
And you know, like, you know, you have to have, the track has to give you the backbone, you know, and like,
Yeah.
if anything, it's just a little bit of information to make people kind of know how valuable they are at doing their position.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim Ponall
Uh-huh.
says Darrell is an awesome person and very talented.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Man,
Yes, he sure is a talented person.
he must not know you very long.
Well,
See, you do have friends in racing. You always told me that we brought our friends to the racetrack.
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you a cool story, and that would be the Danny Licklider story. You and Danny one time was fierce competitors.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, you weren't always like me helping Dave Wilt. If you'd have told me that in '99 at Winchester Speedway when I'm yelling at him on top of a four-wheeler, that I was going to be helping Dave Wilt with his race car sometime, I'd have been like, you're wrong, because that man makes the wrong calls each week, and he puts me in the rear. And, you know, did you ever think when you was racing four-cylinders that you'd be helping Danny Licklider's son?
Well, the first time I ever met Danny, I had to go down and get my back bumper off the front of his car. That's how we met. That was a true story. And then we became friends. Well, it's 89, so you do the math. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And we're still good friends.
I've never known Danny to drive like that.
Well, I was like from north of the border, and it still runs deep.
You shouldn't have been there at that particular time.
Exactly. And I was the new guy, too. I mean, you had to teach the new guy a lesson.
Did your parents ever go watch you race, Darrell?
My mother never. My dad, like 3 times maybe, but not much. They would always ask, but they wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Ninth place on the Bedford E-Mod win list. You still are tied for the all-time leading feature winner, four-cylinder, and you actually left that mid-season.
Yeah,
The 1 year.
we did. That's like one of our differences with Mr. Padula.
And you know what? Not to bring up bad stuff, but
That's
like
ancient history.
I look back on that and I think how strong willpower you was, because like me as a driver, I'd be thinking about the championship. I mean, I understand that you have to be treated a certain way, but like, I don't think people realize how much it takes to, like, you had like 5 wins that year up there or something like that, 4 wins
5
or
in a
3,
row, right.
5 in a row or something. And there was a sign of kind of a call that some stuff wasn't fair as far as we was concerned, and you just kind of like said, I'm taking my gun and badge and I'm leaving. And you was leading the points, and you was, you know, you'd have been champion probably at both tracks probably. Winchester and Bedford, and to take and just pick up your gun and badge and leave and be like, you know what? I don't care about the championship. I'm going off principle, how I feel that's right or wrong.
And I felt worse for you and Donnie, people that had put in as much effort as I did. But and I told Donnie, if you want someone else to run the car, run it, but it wouldn't be me.
I don't remember like it bothering me that much. I mean, I remember the deal, but I don't remember it bothering me like it was the end of the world.
Well, I mean, you know the work that goes in to maintaining the car, and you know the work that goes into winning the championship, and it was principle over it, and like I say, that's ancient history at this point, but it's the way it played out.
And I want to tell you something. I don't think people realized. I mean, sure, we had fun and everything back at the shop, but I don't think people realized how many hours
Oh yeah.
that you put into your race cars. I mean, you know, whenever you win, the first thing people want to holler is you're a cheater. But I don't think they realized. I mean, you got a stockish 4-cylinder engine here. Back then, they had to be really strict hydraulic cams and everything. Heck, one time you got one from J&S Salvage and went down one with it.
That's true.
And but like, they don't realize how many hours you spent up at the shop checking every nut and bolt on that car, checking. I mean, you had a very good history of reliability, finishing races.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't just me. I mean, it was you, and there was other people that were certainly contributing to it. But I mean, it was a total effort. It wasn't me doing it on my back.
I know, but if I wouldn't have been taught that way, I probably wouldn't know no better. I mean, you know, you just don't think of the hours that people think you bring them home, wash them, put them in the garage, and some people don't even wash them.
It's
and
true.
Then, you know, but you put a lot of effort into that, and it showed. You drove your own stuff for a while, then you started driving for Donnie, and that was basically you got in that deal. That was like a whole, like, I can't imagine you going through that, because that was like a whole clean slate. Like, I mean, you had no idea what was right, what was left. I mean, you got into a Dodge Challenger, and like it was a brand new race car, and I mean, you and Will and everybody had ideas of what should work.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know how much we struggled with just getting things to work properly, as far as how this should be hosed, how this should be ran. I mean, it was.
You couldn't call Esslinger or Racer Walsh or anything like that. It was all in you.
No, I mean, we dealt with some stuff, and you as a driver, I couldn't imagine, like, you know, just like taking, and you got a car sitting over here that's winning races, running up front, and you jump into this car, and it's, I mean, like none of us really knew. We learned week by week.
It took a while to get it figured out, but once it got figured out, it drove a lot of people crazy.
It did. It did. It's amazing what them little cars could do for what they was. And you know, Donnie loved racing, and he would spend money, but Donnie was the kind of guy that if you could get it done with this, that's what I mean, it wasn't like you called Donnie up like, I need 8 new tires. I mean, like, he would give you what you needed. But Donnie was, in my opinion, he was well known even in the semi-late world.
Yeah.
He took engines that were how many years old, and Will went out and won with them and stuff. I mean, it wasn't junk, but I mean, Donnie made the best out of every penny he put in them race cars. It was amazing, really.
Al Moser says whenever Darrell did something, it was done right.
Thanks,
That's-
Almo.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's true.
he probably drove Al and me and
And he's still like that.
Jimmy
Darrell's
and a
still
lot
like
of us
that.
crazy, probably, because, you know, they'd be on one side of the shop piecing stuff together, and they're on the other side of the shop shining a valve cover.
It wasn't quite that bad.
Doug Schatzer wants to know, do you have a favorite car?
Like on the street, right?
Favorite race car, probably.
Favorite, I guess.
I'm a Masterbuilt guy for 40 years.
He's probably talking about your cars.
All my cars. I like the modified was a great division back then. It's like completely out of hand right now, but a working man could afford one of those.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I may not be speaking the truth here. As far as I'm concerned, it is that basically, like, you and Will Rowell was the people that, two of the people that was instrumental in getting the modifieds around this area.
The first time, yeah. And they weren't anything fancy either. Al Moser built the motors in the garage there for the beginning.
And then you won the first ever modified race at Winchester Speedway.
I did.
And a lot of the promoters didn't like modifieds, did they?
No. Back when those tires were on back there like stones, and everybody spun out way too much. They didn't put on a very good program in the beginning, but they were certainly more affordable than what they've got going on today.
One of the main complaints you always heard was the fans can't tell what kind of car they are.
And
it's like,
you tell what a late model is.
Yeah. I look at the little Mustang on the nose, and I was like, oh, there's a Mustang.
Yeah.
But they were a very economical car back then.
Well, back then the E stood for economy, and now it stands for expensive.
You wouldn't own a modified now?
Oh, absolutely not. I see what Justin and Alyssa are spending back then. It's like, you guys are nuts.
Yeah, but we're all nuts.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that.
I was telling a guy today that was doing some work there, and he said he started seeing a trailer sitting there, started asking about racing, and he started talking about, this kind of money. Do you really make any money in racing? I said, well, you make $1 million.
That's what Will promised me.
And he said, really? I said, yeah. I said, if you start out with $2 million,
yeah,
you can have $1 million left if you time it right.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, now this ain't all of us, but I said, think about this for a minute. I said, guys take $100,000 to $150,000 race cars. They put brand new everything on. I mean, everything is just beautiful billet aluminum, whatever, just beautiful cars. Then they go out and run it into stuff. I mean, not on purpose, but I mean, who nobody in their right mind would buy a $150,000 street rod and then take it down to their hunting ground and drive it, back a stone lane and through the woods. And the guy looked at me kind of funny, like, really? I'm like, well, some of them race cars is, over $100,000 race cars. I said, how comfortable would you feel having a $100,000 car that you load up? I mean, you don't intend to wreck it, but in an instant, it can be, it can be a bag of walnuts, and he's just like, that's just like unbelievable. I said, well, I know, but that's just there's a lot of people in this sport that have done it for years.
What was your favorite track to race, Darrell, when you was racing?
Probably Cumberland, back when Ben Evans had the track surface nice. That or Latrobe. I like the bigger places. I wasn't very good on small tracks.
Thunder Valley.
That was a good track.
That was a jag.
What's the most races you've raced in a season? I mean, you won in a season.
In the 4-cylinder, I think we won 10 in 1 year, and the modified we won 9.
And back then, that was like it ain't like today.
Oh,
like today, like people, like some people put on there like 18 wins and 39 races. Not that anything's wrong with that, but it's like, I don't know.
Well, we get in arguments with James. Danny and I gang up on him when he tells us we never really drove race cars because we don't drive a late model. But we drove when there was 40 cars and you handicapped by points, and if you started 12th, you were pretty lucky. And he's never had to deal with that before.
I take a beating regularly because I never got a feature win at Hagerstown, and it's like I was leading the points. I started 11th each week. Yeah, but you never won. Well, I know, but I just started 11th each week.
Yeah,
like
it's like you didn't go down and start on the front row. That wasn't going to happen.
But it don't matter the logistics of it.
It's changed. That they don't, like, James doesn't hardly even remember that time, but
he was little.
Yeah,
I remember when I started driving. I remember the B mains with 20 cars. You start.
I ran a lot of
starting 15th, taking 2 or 3, and I mean, like, they was basically
features.
features that you had to drive with one foot on the brake, one foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Those boys don't remember a whole lot back then other than playing with their little matchbox in the dirt.
Yeah.
Riding
So-
go-karts.
Yeah. And bicycles.
What you guys did back then, they don't remember none of that.
All right, I guess we got to get moving along. We done went through Darrell's career long enough. Is there any highlights, Darrell?
Oh, I mean, there's, like I say, I did it for 20 couple years and met great people. Did something I'd never expected I'd do. Won races, won championships. I wouldn't trade it.
He was very good at it too.
Thank you.
He was. I mean, I was, always impressed with how level-headed you was behind the wheel, which is hard whenever your adrenaline's going.
Well, when you pay for it and have to fix it, that does.
Yeah, that does kind of make
Oh,
you,
absolutely.
But and you almost pulled off an amazing feat.
Yes,
You almost won 2 features in one night at
Yeah.
at different racetracks.
that's true.
Now, how did the logistics of that all work out?
We were racing for UMP points, and we were doing pretty well. And we raced and won Bedford, and we were the first feature. And Rick, guy that used to help me, Rick Bricker, said, let's run up on the mountain to Thunder Valley, see what we can do up there. So we did, and started dead last, and lost by about 3 feet.
Man, that would have been something to talk about. I mean, it still is
Yeah.
something to talk about, but if you'd have pulled it off,
Yeah,
not too many people win 2 features in one night, let alone at 2 different racetracks.
I say we literally unloaded, and they were on the racetrack.
Back then, they didn't have rules where you had to run the
No,
the heat race.
I think that was a me and Rusty Seitz rule from coming up from Winchester with the 4-cylinder.
Yeah. We don't even want to talk about those stories. I think about them a lot. The springs are painted purple, and we have so many stories that we could tell.
Then
but,
we swapped springs, and it was okay.
Yeah, and just back then, I guess, was a lot of politics.
It was a simpler time too.
It was.
Back when racing was fun.
It was.
You went through all that stuff, but like, it was over with. Like, you didn't stew on it like people do now. Like,
Yeah.
like people bring up something that happened 3 years ago, and like back then, you just dealt with the cards you had and like moved on. And you like NASCAR. You ever see like NASCAR drivers get out and they interview them, and like they had situation last weekend, but now it's like, I'm concerned with this weekend and this race, and
Well, like last week at Natural Bridge, or 2 weeks ago at Natural Bridge, I mean, it was a racing deal, but we got all tore up on the first lap. I mean, you knocked the right front off of one of them cars, $1,200 to replace them. That's expensive.
Yeah. So you helped old Will Rao.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that had to be good because everybody loves Will. So you probably had all kinds of friends there.
I mean, we, like I say, we went through a lot back then because it was just me and him for a long time. But like I say, we both learned a lot.
You took. He was a crew member of mine. He was a crew member of yours. Now he's a crew chief for Scott Palmer. But you set him on fire.
Well, I always tell him he was taught by the best. I mean, the people that mentored him. He's a smart guy, like I say.
He is Billy. But I'll never forget the night I showed up at Will's and he was running out through the parking lot.
On fire.
Looked like Ricky Bobby out of. Yeah, I mean that was something that back then that was something that you never.
Yeah.
A static fire you never really heard. Like nobody knew what it was, and but he was a good helper and
A hard worker.
glad to see the success that they had this year.
Yeah. Like I say, Billy's the main honcho over there. Scott, he's just a steering wheel.
Did you ever
holder.
think you'd hear that, Shirley? Billy's the main honcho. Now him and his daddy worked really hard for me, and they done a lot for me. And back in that time in my career, I was probably too stupid to realize it. But nowadays, you know how much time and effort, and you kind of value it more.
And Bill does the whole racing gig, and both of his boys play football.
I don't know
so
how he does it.
Between him and Brittany, I mean, they're like always on the move.
He'd have been good if they'd be racing around a football field. He could just handle both things.
Doug Schatzer says you guys should write a book.
We could.
They wouldn't believe it.
They wouldn't believe it.
It'd be fiction.
Oh, I think if Will and Darrell and Mike and
We talked about a lot of the Will Rouse stories on the show
I
with Will, and I got to
guarantee
get him
would
back on again. But he could definitely write a book.
Yeah.
The trips that him and Jimmy and Almo took,
Yes.
they could write a book. I mean, that one trip was, I'll never forget it, with the alternator and all that stuff. That was funny, but I mean, it wasn't funny, but you know, like, just to be sitting at the shop working on the car, here comes this truck and trailer in with a generator running, plugged into a battery charger up over the roof of the truck.
Yep.
Like, where was you guys at? Oh, we was Ohio.
With a Makita drill bearing and the alternator.
I can remember the time that we went with you to Cherokee Speedway.
That was a trip.
That was a
Yeah.
fun trip.
Yeah, make sure you know the
Never
rules
seen
whenever you
stuff
go
like that.
somewhere, because it really puts you behind.
When you're like 600 pounds more than you need to be.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people that all the time I tell that story, Cherokee story, to a lot of people. But going home, me and Shirley was going to our motel, and we're passing all these motels, and every parking lot is nothing but 4-cylinder cars on jack stands changing clutches. And I'm like, what are they doing? Well, like, we had no idea you had to run like a 19-pound clutch. We had no idea they never checked your clutch when you time trialed. They just checked it the day of the race. So everybody time trialed with these lightweight clutches in, and then went back to the motel and like swapped clutches. And then it was pound per cc down there, and we had a 25, 92 motor, I think it was. So we had 2,600 pounds on the car, and some guy had a Dodge, got talking to us, and he's like, why you all weigh so much? Like, well, it's pound per cc. He's like, well, but it's a max of like 2,400 or something like that. We're like, what?
Yeah.
But anyway,
What flipped me out is when I seen all those people carrying those coffee cans. I'm like, what the heck are they carrying these coffee cans for? Well, I found out quick. I told Mike, I said, you got to find a Walmart. I said, I'm freezing.
just, I don't know if you want to tell this story or not, Darrell, but you want to tell the story about the,
Then y'all had to race with the smoke going across the
In the rain.
they almost,
In the rain.
they almost throw the
Yes.
they wanted to throw the caution for the
that
smoke.
was dangerous.
I knew he's in trouble. I know we're getting off topic here. I knew he's in trouble whenever Danny Licklider, which was winning races, a lot of races, he goes down there and some dude passes him with a button-up shirt on
Flannel shirt.
while he is moving himself upright in his racing seat because the belts are loose, repositioning himself in the seat. And I looked over, I said, what class does he run? They said, he's running the stock class. I said, let's go to the junkyard and get some stock manifolds. Because if you had a header,
Yeah,
you couldn't run that
absolutely.
class. They was fast, wasn't they?
It was a fun trip, but like, that was like amazing.
And the one thing is that track, back when the track was full size, and them guys
Never
ran it like Talladega, they never lifted.
Well, it took them like a lap and a half to get up to speed, just
And-
like Talladega.
And for us guys, which is stop and go
Yeah.
everywhere we race, except for, well, maybe Pav Valley is a little stop and go, but not much. But like that is totally out of your, like, I don't think people realize how hard it is to tell your brain to not to do. I mean, like, if you went to Hagerstown Speedway and drove in there like that, you're buying a new race car. So you had to tell your brain, like, I got to hold it to the floor
And
3 feet from this wall.
Well, they'd use the wall to turn the car.
Yeah.
This old boy ain't doing that.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand how much your brain and everything gets accustomed.
Yeah, I was used to having two wheels in the infield at Winchester. I wasn't way up there.
He was looking for the tires. He
Yeah.
said, "Where's the tires at down there?"
Our sponsor of the show here tonight, Todd Ward, he says, nice to hear these stories and see where we're at now in every class today's racing on dirt.
Do you,
Come a long
you
way.
We have.
Do you want to tell the funny? It's a funny story. It wasn't no harm intended. Do you want to tell the story about the voodoo doll?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I know he's not listening.
I know he already knows about it.
Yeah. There was a rivalry in the garage, and I don't even remember where that voodoo doll came from, but it happened to be.
I don't even know who made it.
I don't either. But there was one of his license plates were up on the garage wall.
No, it was a beer can. Remember, he's sponsored by a beer company.
Okay. Yeah. The Red Dog can.
Yeah. We was running for points, and we was in a points battle. Now, we was friends with these people. We wasn't enemies or anything.
Okay.
Well, Darrell says okay. I was friendly.
It's your story. Go ahead.
I was friendly. Maybe you weren't, but I was friendly.
Everybody likes you.
Yeah, right. So, tell the story, Darrell. I don't want to do all this talking for you. I thought you'd talk more.
Well, you seem to remember it better than me. I just remember that beer can had a knife through it with a noose, and it got seen by the person. He wasn't happy.
We was up at the garage. There's a lot of shenanigans going on, and someone got a beer can that was his sponsor, and they stuck a knife through it and put a noose on it and hung it up in the garage. And it was there for I don't know how many years. Long time. Well, this individual happened to stop by to get something off of Will or something, and I don't remember how the story went, but he walks into the shop and sees this beer can with this knife through it. And he's like, well, that's why I lost the championship.
And he still comes into James's shop down there as a salesman and remembers it.
How do you think he knew it was about him?
I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't like it was like, I mean, some people would look at it and not even think twice about it. I mean, how many beer cans you see with a knife through it?
Yeah. How many people are sponsored by Red Dog?
Any more?
And it had a noose tied around it, guys. Come on.
That was a garage pole.
It was a garage pole.
Why did tell Bubba Wallace that when he found his noose?
I mean, we just goofing off.
But back then, we just really didn't care. I mean, it's not
No, we
were
didn't.
like malicious, but it's like there was no politically correct.
Sometimes I wish I could go back to that. Like, I mean, we actually felt like when we went to the racetrack, like we was there to win, and like,
And
not that you was a dirty driver or anything like that. I mean, we raced clean, but I mean, like,
but
all I know is anytime there's any excitement going on in the pits, I wasn't allowed to go see it.
that is true.
He come by and say, "All my heathens stay on the trailer."
That's exactly right.
He did used to say,
That
Darrell, that was your saying.
That was the number one rule.
Yeah, I mean, come
If
on,
they
Dad, can't I go look at the fight?
If they came to our trailer, that was one thing. But
Yep, he
What's
said
that say? What Chucky's saying?
He says he's the kind of guy to literally give you the last body bolt if you need it.
that's true.
Did you loan Chucky a body bolt or something?
No, but people have, I like to say, they come in the trailer bar and a lot of stuff.
So, you showed Will Rao how it was to win races. You showed him how easy it was to drive a race car.
Yes,
Was it harder than it looked?
absolutely. Absolutely.
And you guys had numerous discussions on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday about the weekend's events, didn't you?
Well, when we ran against each other and modified, absolutely. I knew. Yeah. That was bragging rights for the whole week.
But, you know, that's one of the things I miss about racing. Not that we don't have a good group of guys around us right now, but like back in the day, you know, with Will and Donnie and Bill and Bobby and Jimmy and Al, and I mean, like we had two separate cars, it was two separate teams, but then like on the way home we'd all stop and eat, and it was like,
Rowdy bunch.
Yep.
it was just like it was great. Like you wanted to go racing because it was so much fun, you know. And Donnie, he reminded me like a lot of my dad. You know, when Dad was racing, whenever he bought Cody a car and everything, like he wanted to win, but if you won or you ran last, you jump in the truck, he had a smile on his face and wanted to know where he was going to go get something to eat at.
Racing with Scott's the same way. That's why it's good to run with them.
You all had a good time at Denny's when you left the races.
Man,
I don't know if they did, but we did.
That was a story in itself. I remember Jimmy getting in trouble. Betty got mad at him because he was setting booby traps for the waitresses with his tip.
Shot them straws up in the ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Toothpaste.
things that hold your sandwiches together.
Yeah. They actually gave me a chef hat, remember?
Yeah, I do.
They'd fight over us. So anyway, I'm sure everybody tuned in to listen to you, but so you moved on. You went to E-Mods. Now you even ran semi-lights. You had the most beautiful semi-light there ever was.
Yeah, that was a piece, wasn't it? I didn't know if I was going to get fired, so we didn't spend a whole lot of time on that one.
You got fired quite a few evenings.
Absolutely.
But they took an old semi-light, which back then the semi-lights was stock front clips.
That was Will's championship car.
Yeah, he won a championship with it. And then Darrell takes an old Capri body and bolts on
One of
it.
the old 4-cylinders.
Yeah. And it was different looking.
That car bamboozled him.
Yeah. It was different looking. And you almost won racing that car.
Almost did.
It wouldn't be for somebody brought the caution out. I can't remember who it
Leo
was.
broke his arm.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. They snagged him and spun the wheel on and broke his arm.
Yeah,
He cost me a feature win.
Darrell was leading with this old. Well, I'm not saying it was a heat, but
It was a heat.
It looked like
I'll say it. It was a heat.
It looked like it. It looked like it. I'd love to have a couple pictures of that car. I got pictures of it,
You're
the
right.
one you sent me in the garage, but I've never seen one on the internet. I know I know Will's new car, the Maverick. I know
That was nice.
it was very popular.
And it didn't run.
It didn't run. Lots of nights, Darrell was down in the pits working on his 4-cylinder and his semi-late, and Will would send a representative down.
And Will was working on that car and his late model too. We were both doing double duty.
he was sending a representative down to repo the ex-championship car.
That was the jam car.
And he'd say, Darrell, I need your car tonight. Mine's broke. And they was going through new car jitters, I guess you'd say. And but that was funny too. That Darrell didn't know halftime when he was going to be running semi-lates because he didn't know if he was having. Well, Darrell's supposed to start here, yeah, but he don't have a car, so. But like I say, it was fun times.
It was.
I'm glad my wife. I can't believe my wife put up with it. I really can't. The amount of hours I spent and racing Friday nights and Saturday nights, I just can't. I look back on it with young kids, and I think, man, wonder my wife didn't have a shotgun at the door when I got home.
Well, you are just trying to do 3 nights now at your age that we used to do, standing on our backs, no problem.
You was in good company.
We race like one night a week now, and I'm like they're like, well, we can go here. Like, well, we already raced this week.
There we ran a 3-night weekend with Steel Block Bandits there probably 5-6 years ago. We took James to Williams Grove, never seen the place. Ran 3rd or 4th. And he wanted to run all 3 nights. I said, James, you have no idea what it's like running 3 nights a week. So we came to Hagerstown, and he goes, well, if I win, will you take me to Bedford tomorrow? Because Danny had to work on Sundays. I said, yeah, if you win, I'll go. Well, he won. So then we did Bedford on Sunday night. It took me like a week to recover, and we used to do that all the time.
Well, nowadays,
back in the day.
I know, but these cars now, it's like there's no short way to prepare them. I mean,
Well, plus we're a lot older. We were kids.
Is that what
when we
it
were doing
is?
that stuff before. We're old people now.
I didn't start racing myself till I was 30 something.
Well, it's better than 70.
But yeah, we had a lot of good times. And anything, Shirley?
Nope.
I feel like I'm doing all the
They're
talking.
asleep.
I want Darrell to do all the talking.
You're asking questions, I'm answering.
So we're gonna solve all the racing problems here at the end. But so how did you decide you was going to quit?
Basically the price of racing, the gas, the first time it went up to $4 a gallon, basically killed me. We couldn't afford new tires, and it's no fun running not in the front. And Ricky went his way and I went my way. Ricky went on to be successful with Justin Weaver.
Yeah, Rick was a good guy. Rick Bricker.
Yep.
People don't know what we're talking about. He was a great guy. He used to help Megan. I think when Megan Osborne quit racing, he kind of knowed us guys, so he kind of come back to Will's shop and started going racing with Darrell. And he was another great guy that
Yes.
you could would help you with anything and do anything for you. So he's sadly missed. But so how did you and the Licklighter deal get going?
Well, I told you, Danny and I had been friends since '89. Of course, then James came up through the go-karts and the four-cylinders, and Danny called me one Saturday afternoon and says, "You're not going to believe what I did." I said, "What'd you do?" He goes, "I bought 2 late models." and kind of the rest is history.
One another.
Well, one was a roller and one was a bare frame.
Yeah.
But
Justin Weaver just joined us, and he
Oh.
said,
He's late to the
Darrell
party.
looks nervous.
He's nervous.
You've never sat in
he's,
this seat.
He's nervous ever since James got on here and said it was a roast session. He's been waiting. Been waiting for the... See, I had no pressure here with me. I don't... Yeah.
nah, we're good.
So you all been pretty successful here with James. It come up on my Facebook that we had James on the show. How many years ago was it? 6 years?
6, now it's a championship.
A championship
That's
at
just kind of crazy.
at
Like 6
Hagerstown?
years ago, what? Today?
Today,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Crazy. No, he gets hard-headed from times, but
Oh, drivers never get
well,
hard-headed.
see, I never raced with my dad, but I see you and Cody, I see Danny and James, I see James and Pete, or Justin and Pete. It's like Scott and Ray. It's like I see father and son interaction, and it's no different with James and Danny.
It's hard. It's hard sometimes. But you all doing very, very well. Not that anything's wrong with them. It's just a master built is not a... I don't want to say common. How would you say it, Darrell? They're good cars. I'm just saying it.
You don't see them on the tour, but I mean, they win locally and regionally a
Yeah.
lot every week. They just no, they're not on the tour. You're not, but
You guys had that thing hooked up this year.
we had a real good year. And like I say, Scott had a real good year with his.
Yes, Scott had a good year also. Now you told me middle of the season that if you won both championships, you was retiring.
I did say that, and
You retired for like what, a day?
I'm not saying that I'm not retired yet. I mean, I'm proud of what we both accomplished. But Scott was supposed to quit at the end of the year too, and now I'm hearing rumblings that that may not happen.
I don't think you'll ever see that.
I don't know. His wife said if he raced next year, he better start looking for another wife. So that was coming for her, not him.
It's kind of hard. Well, I'm going to say sometimes it's hard to replace that, but I don't know. I don't aim to be, know anything about that. I hope I don't. I got a pretty good one. That lets me do whatever I want to do.
And Scott's is the same way. But I told her that if he was home every night, you'd be divorced in 6 months.
Now, your wife's put up with it for how many years?
Well, she quit going when I crashed at Cumberland that one night, so it's been a while since. She hasn't been back since.
Is that the semi-late?
That was modified when I tried to go out in the outfield.
Now, the semi-late one, when you put it in the wall,
No.
they actually put an X on the wall, and then you got your picture taken with
Yeah,
the trophy girl.
That is true. Miss Motorsports.
Let's go back to the car number.
Okay.
How did you get your original car number? I know, but how did you get it?
I was a big Bob Pierce fan back in the day, and that's where the 32 came from, the original one. And then when we got to Simulate, like if I was like a total monkey spank, I didn't want anybody to know who I was. So I just put a big X on it, and they could figure it out, and then it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, then 32 disappeared and it was X
Yep.
on all the cars.
Yep.
Did you have tall, cool one on your car?
No.
You should have had that on your car. He was tall.
Yeah. But I wasn't cool like him.
Tall, dorky one. So, Darrell, I don't want to go too far too fast because we got some good story,
Put
good stuff.
tall, nice guy.
No.
I guess there was some nights you wasn't nice.
Yeah.
we held our own.
Yeah. Like I say, it was different times back then. The racing's totally different. It's hard to
It is.
explain. What do you think would make it better, Darrell? Do you have any ideas? You're always good at having all the ideas.
Well, I mean, having ideas and actually seeing them come through would be two different things, but they've got to cut the costs. I mean, back when we were racing even modifieds, a guy that worked a 8 to 5 job could afford to do it, but I don't see how most of these people are doing it today. I really don't. And the car counts are proven they're not.
Yeah, they just. I mean, I hate to go into details, but would you, with you guys' performance the way it is, would you want a spec shock on the car or anything to save money, or do you think that would be a wrong way to go?
For me, the easiest and quickest, least expensive way would be to take the noses off of them, put the decks flat, put a 6-inch spoiler or less on them, take the air off of them, and then you're not going to need all that fancy stuff. But
I said about putting a Monte Carlo nose on them. You know, one of them Monte Carlo noses that sit 2 foot off the ground.
even if you went back to like the old, like early 2000 Camaro noses that weren't on the ground, and
Yeah.
I mean, if you could fix the air problem, which is extremely cheap, I think you would solve a lot more. But you're never going to talk the car builders into doing it.
Well, it's got to start out with the touring series.
Oh yeah, and that's why you'll never see it filter down to our level.
Too much technology right now in the bodies
Well-
and stuff. You look at some of these bodies, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but, I mean, they race for a living, so they want to keep that top edge for them. They don't want to go hungry.
You're right. But they got locally. They got to do something. So,
I don't think they see that yet. I really don't.
I mean, they might not, but you can't tell me the local promoters don't see it. But then again, look at the 358 class around the area. I mean, there's some nights 3 tracks racing and 20 cars at each track.
Yeah, I mean, standardized rules even for on our level would be awesome, but they can't get together to make any kind of
They almost did.
uniformity, except if you're going to throw some guy out from a track he wasn't even racing at. They're all staying behind that.
Some lady named Peggy Kershner says she's watching, and it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Glad we could entertain you.
I'm trying to think if we got any more stories before we go further. Did James do anything wrong this year?
Ask his dad.
Look at his face.
Ask his dad.
No, you all had a really good season. I mean, every time I looked at the results, he was fast time and won the heat race, and that's as racers, that's a big part of the battle. Mm-hmm. Now the fans, they probably don't care for it much, but that's too. You'll never satisfy both.
But yeah, we're hard on him, but I think it makes him a better driver because we're hard on him. I mean, if he does good stuff, we're the first to praise him. If he does dumb stuff, he don't want to drive up to the trailer.
I think we're that way too, Shirley.
Yeah.
We are. I can
We're hard on
I can honestly tell you that I know the boy's married and he's adult now and all, but like I don't cut him no slack. Like, I mean, if I see something I don't like he'll be like, "Dad, you don't understand. You can't see there." And I'm just like, "Well, I know. I never drove. He never drove one, but I mean, I just wanted to let you know that, this or that or this, and it's just."
Justin Weaver says James always does something wrong.
Correct. That's what we always say. And James, he always says, "Well, you don't know what it's like to drive one of these cars." Well, Danny got in the car and he was into the practice session. Drove it 8 or 10 laps.
I did that too.
What'd he say when he got out?
James was like, he knew his race car was done, but he did do a good job. For someone who's never drove a car ever like that before. He didn't hit anything.
I did it one time in practice. And
James is on here. He says, like, Mr. Weaver is so perfect.
We're got Morgan on the internet, and
Yeah.
Both crashed it. Or about crashed it, I'm sorry.
He about crashed, but he didn't. That's more than you can say your first time in the 4-cylinder and the limited.
I ran 3 or 4 laps in Cody's car, and Brian Jones, he always calls me barefoot because I had to take my boots off because I couldn't get my knees up high enough to not be on the gas. So then and I'll be honest with you, down the straightaways, I had no clue where I was going. Once I got to the corners, that thing was pretty cool.
It turns itself.
But straightaways, it's like, I drove cars with steering boxes and quickeners, and that thing was like quick, and but it was definitely different.
Justin's on here, and he's telling James, he says, that I am not, you have more wins than me, big dog.
Yeah. All right.
So you do a lot of tell us how you got the TinMan name.
Thank you, Scott Palmer.
Is he the one that come up with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking like Will come up with it.
No, it's Scott. You just look on the dashboard of his car. There's a TinMan on there. Big one. Yep, that's all on him.
So when you get out of racing, you still wanted to be involved, and you started doing bodies for people and.
Well, yeah, with the modified, I mean, they were all sheets of metal as opposed to watching Will out on the other side of the garage grinding and gutting cars. I was like, I'm done with all that. If I need a new door or quarter, I'll go over on the sheet metal pile and pick up a piece of tin and bend it.
That was horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
we all went through that era.
Oh, yeah.
It's when you go find trunk lids and doors at the salvage yard and you spend a whole Saturday afternoon
Or gutting the whole car.
grinding the.
Yeah. That's like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, it was like, man, whenever they said that it was okay to have aluminum sides, it was like, this is awesome.
Even before they said it was okay to do that. Just saying.
Yeah, it was supposedly awesome back then too, but
What are you going to do? Come take my trophy away?
I understand there was other people making aluminum doors.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. At least that's what I was told.
I've heard that. But no, I mean, when I started racing, I had just built a house. I had a 2-year-old baby, and I couldn't afford to pay anybody else to work on my car. I had to figure it out. But the tin work just kind of stayed with me.
Now see,
I knew I didn't want to cut and grind anymore. Or what you weld. Like,
I hated it. I hate it. I don't know why I do, but I can't stand it. Like, I want to go buy body panels and bolt them on and rivet them on, and it's like,
nah, we don't do
like
that.
we have a brake sitting there, and I'm like, Darrell, can you make me a body? It's like I don't have no place to lay it, no place to cut it. We got all the tools. It's just I hate doing it.
I'm fortunate that Will gives me a real nice place to work up there. And
Justin Weaver says,
Uh-oh.
I'd love to roast Tin Daddy. However, I'd run out of fingers. How many times that man saved me in my career. Schimmel would give a hand in need any time I ever needed it.
well, thank you,
Or
Justin.
needed.
I appreciate that very much. But hey, we're all kind of like a big family.
Now, Justin, there's nothing wrong with it, but Justin keeps his car beautiful.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I mean, Darrell's probably all the time. He was all back in the day, all the time making doors and quarters and all, and which we all try to do that now. But I mean, I'm really good with a ball peen ham with a rubber mallet and a flat floor.
Well, Scott crashed that car the other week at Baps, and it was bad.
That was amazing. That was
Well-
not the crash, the
Crash was amazing too.
stuff you showed me, and then like the car goes out and wins the following week.
Yeah, but like I told him, I said, I'm not building a body and deck for one race. I said, it's getting beat out and put back on. Bill said, you ain't straightening that. I said, yeah, I am.
Yeah, the guys are good at it and know what they're doing. I don't like to do anything really with that. I mean, we even got a plastic door this year, and I still had to repair it. Had to heat it with a heat gun instead of beat on it.
That body on James's car is 3 seasons old. It looks like it.
Yeah, you said it was that old. I didn't think it was that old.
Yeah. Well, we didn't race much last 2 years, handful of times.
I've watched Darrell work in the garage. You're very particular.
He
Where
is.
you are. Are you still
He is.
particular like you was when you was younger?
He is.
Or have you got away from
Now
that
tell
side?
her-
Maybe not quite as OCD as I was, but it's still pretty bad.
He just redid a bead roller, and you got to see it, Shirley. He bought this bead roller. Looked like it set in somebody's barn for
It did.
I don't know how long. Everything rusted. And now, like, he sent me pictures of it, and, like, it's painted. Everything is clean. Everything's new wiring. I mean, it looks beautiful. Looks like you just bought it.
And now nobody wants bead rollers on anything.
Remember the days when everything was bead rolled?
Heck yeah.
Them four-cylinder interiors would take you a couple weeks just to put because you had to put it wasn't like it is now. Everything's flat. They had the dash panels and the back firewall, and
Yeah.
now that's what amazes you whenever you see the close
Yeah,
cars.
like I don't know if Joel is still doing their sheet metal work because he's like the big cahoon up there now, but whoever does their stuff is like the king.
Like they got back into bead rolling.
Oh, everything.
And
yeah.
they put pictures on there, and I mean, it is just,
Yep.
it is beautiful stuff. It's amazing, the time and effort that they put into it. Anything else, Shirley? Is we done roasting? You didn't even get
caught
roasted
up.
that bad, Darrell.
We're up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, Darrell, we're
they've
already
been pretty
quarter
nice
after.
to
You
Darrell,
got to tell
so
us
we have,
tell us
yeah.
some good stories we ain't heard yet.
We
Come
kind of
on.
went through most of them that can be told.
Everybody
to the
says that.
public.
You ever notice everybody says that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean,
How did you get hooked up with Will?
I was helping Jeff Robinson, and then a number of old people that were older than me. I was like 18 or 19 helping Jeff, and he had nobody else except his wife and his brother Barry. And then several other people started coming in, and I wasn't really doing as much because they were doing it all. I was like, and then I met Will, and Will didn't have any help, so I started helping him. And that's ancient history also.
Well, you know, Darrell, you really got our family into the racing scene.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, you did. When Mike started helping you, and
my dad was hooked before that. My dad was hooked when he got.
Yeah, but he really got you into it when you started helping him, and then when you got out of racing for Donnie, and then he asked Mike, and Mike started that. Then that started it, and then Mike has always looked up to you.
Darrell gave me a wore out race car that he bent all up.
I did do
You
that.
have been a good mentor for Mike, and
He has. Him and Will.
the
There's a few
safety.
people. Al Moser was another one that guided me. I mean, Mick Creek started it all, but
the safety
I
factor.
was really
of
young.
it.
I was really young with Mick that didn't really, you thought you wanted to work on a race car, but you didn't really know. We went over to Buddy Harbaugh's garage, and I just messed around over there, but didn't really know. Just stood around in the way, and then
But the safety factor of it.
oh yeah,
With racing, Mike, he really took that in, what you had taught him, and the things that you got him with that. And Mike has even passed that on to other drivers. He said, when I used to help Darrell Schimmel, Darrell said, you can't go wrong with your safety equipment. Make sure that's
what's funny
what
is
you have.
is we talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago. Like Darrell got me into wearing head socks. Like he was one of the first drivers around like wore the fireproof head sock. And anybody that knows me knows I hate to put my helmet on until I gotta have it on at the last minute. So I'll drive down the lineup area with my helmet sitting on the deck or whatever. Well, not now, but years ago, people would look at you like they seen a ghost. Like, what's that dude got on his freaking head? Like they didn't realize, and it's like nowadays a lot of people wear the underwear. One of my big pet peeves, and you see it all the time. You really seen it all the time back in the day. One of my big pet peeves is these guys that wear suits with nothing on underneath them.
Yeah.
And they unzip it, and all you see is their chest sticking out, and I'm just like, why would you do that?
Because they've never been on fire before. I've been on fire and I've hit stuff hard.
James Licklider, he says, my number design came from Darrell's decal printer, Never Be Another. I think it came from Jeff's car when Dad was driving. He said also Darrell was a talented decal guy.
Thank
Darrell
you.
has many talents.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, back in the
You
day,
must
like
need a body done.
back in the day, like you probably still don't do it very often, but like we didn't go nowhere for nothing. Like everything was done. I mean, Delco did a lot of Will's cars and stuff, but I mean, you did my cars and Cody's cars. Like whenever I'd start paying the bills, I couldn't afford to have. I couldn't afford. Not that Delco wasn't worth it. He had beautiful work, but I mean, you got to cut costs where you can cut costs.
Absolutely.
And I'd call Darrell up, and he'd be like, "What color is the car?" And he'd make these decals, and I actually enjoyed putting them on. But we ran body salon that we would call Darrell up and get different collar numbers just to change in the middle of the season to make it look like we refreshed the car. But you did decals.
I didn't have any money. I had to learn how to do all this stuff.
You did the body panels for the one picture on the Facebook page there, the Dave Wilt throwback car. You did the body for that car short notice and got it back to me.
Well, when you see what you've accomplished, and when you win in that car, you have more pride because you know that you put all your sweat and work into that and made it what it was, and you achieved a win, whereas you didn't pay someone to do the work.
And I honestly enjoy, like I say, I had my time behind the wheel. That door's closed, and other ones, but I get just as much satisfaction watching like James or Scott win. I'm just a little part of it, but it's a part. Keep involved.
Yeah, and they would, when Darrell and them was running Hagerstown a lot, we would both stand back there together on there at the backstretch, and we'd either congratulate each other, or we'd go separate ways, being disgusted with that neither one of us finished or whatever. But
I mean, you spend so much time. You want to win, and if you don't win, you're disappointed. You have to be disappointed. But you go next week. You get to do it all over again.
yeah, you got it. I know we're not supposed to be Rustin. We're not supposed to be roasting Will Rao, and we're not going to make fun of him. But we got to discuss the arguments, not the arguments, but we're calling them debates again.
Oh, they were arguing.
Some of the debates
They were
that
like
you guys
knocked down.
had over like ways to do things, or over like Will was very good at doing things a certain way. Like I don't think people realize, like, if you take a wreck race car to Will Rao and he says he can't fix it, it's junk.
He can fix it.
yeah, it ain't you can't fix it. And I mean, like, he's very good at accomplishing things within his budget.
Same way, he has no money either. He had to learn how to do that stuff.
And Darrell would come in and like want to do things a little different way, and we would get a chuckle because they would be debating on which way was the best way, and and we'll be like, "Hey, man, all you gotta do is run out back here and get this piece of metal and chop the end of it off, and it bolt right on there." And Darrell's like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna." But what was some of the things that you guys?
It was like he was like the brother I never had. I mean, we would fight about everything, but here about 10 years ago, I was like, I'm not fighting with you anymore. I'll just throw my hands up and say, you win. And that would make him madder than if you sat there and argue with him. So that's what I do now. I mean, we don't fight like we used to, but I mean, we were both trying to push each other to be better. But if you want to really make him mad, just throw your hands up and say, all right, you win, and walk away.
I never took it as fighting. Never did. We'd sit over there and chuckle at you two, but Will just, I know he done a lot for you, and
absolutely,
he done a lot for me.
I wouldn't have been where I was.
He put up with a lot of crap. Like I say, you always look back.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I was just that dumb back then or not, Darrell, but I look back and think, man, Will was trying to run a business.
Yeah.
And he had, I won't say us idiots because I ain't gonna put you in with me, but like I was in his way using his tools and doing, and like, you just don't think.
It was like the aisle and the misfit toys back there.
Yeah, and nowadays you get older, you're like, well, your body your mind tells you like, I shouldn't do that right now. I'll come back later.
And-
But back then it's like,
And-
oh, it's a wonder we all didn't get thrown out.
I'm so tickled for him. Like say, Alyssa just won her second race there. Coming
Yeah.
back from having the baby, and he's got a spring in his step again.
That's
That's why he put you all down at the barn. He was his way at the garage.
that's Alyssa's dad. That's what
Yeah.
I was told. It's not Will Rao. It's Alyssa's
Yes,
father.
and yeah,
A good story for the TinMan to tell is the tree in his front yard.
tree in my front yard. Who's that from?
Helicopters.
Justin.
Oh, yeah. The
Justin.
James. Yeah, I had to babysit James at the Arch Banquet one night when Justin won an award and James won an award, and they got extremely
There
drunk.
wasn't no alcohol involved.
No,
was
there
there?
was lots of that. Well, I mean, not really a lot, but for them it was, or at least for James. And he was hugging the tree out my side yard for half the night. Then when I finally got into bed, we lived there by the airport, and the medevac helicopters kept flying in, and James dreamed of helicopters all night.
I'd have told him they was coming for him.
Yeah, he was hurt that night.
Look, he put on their helicopters like
Yep.
he's scarred for life.
Yep. Justin accused me of stealing his trophy on the way home.
Did you ever find it?
Oh, it was in the car. Kia was babysitting him. I was babysitting James.
Somebody had to hold her hair up, huh?
I wasn't going that far. He was out in the side yard. He knew where the front door was.
That's the womanly thing, isn't it, Shirley? Whenever you're thrown up, somebody got to hold your hair.
Yep.
So, Darrell, I don't know where to go with you. We're running out of time here. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go to the end or I don't know. What do you think, Shirley?
Oh, no. Because I don't know what you got planned.
I'm trying to get
Yeah.
out of here. He's very tight-lipped tonight for some reason. I wanted to get into how we're going to save this sport and how we're going to. What about tire prices? What about
I mean,
Hoosier against AR? I mean, come on now. Let's get into all this nitty-gritty stuff.
it's sad because it's nothing. We're just along for the ride. We're in the back of the bus hanging onto the seat. We can't change anything. I mean, the tires are junk. They're too expensive. They need to do something about the air on these cars. They need to have standardized rules, stuff you'll never see. So either you're gonna adapt or you're gonna move on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, you think that the tour guys having tire failures,
Well,
and you think that would bring a light to.
nah, I mean, once Continental bought Hoosier, I don't think they really care about making racing tires anymore. It's like a side business, but
I mean, there for a while there was quite a few teams, us included, that had thousands of dollars worth of damage on the car just from from tire blowing.
Yep.
I mean, like that tire comes apart like you don't realize it,
Like a bomb.
It destroys everything.
ask Justin. Justin had the same problem.
We had it in a heat race the first time we ever ran one of the new ones.
Knocked the deck
and
completely out of the car.
it like must have blowed out coming to the checker. And like I'm standing there waiting, and here comes this car down through the pits, like limping, with metal hanging everywhere, and I'm just like, who the heck is that? And it's Cody, and I'm like,
What happened?
I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
And he's like, the tire blowed coming to the checker. It was a 5-lap heat race or 8-lap heat race.
Yep.
It was a brand new tire.
Yep.
And I'm just like, then you started seeing
More and more of
the
it
big
happening.
like on tour
Mhm.
tire failures where those guys was blowing tires out right and left.
But what are you going to do? Like I say, most of the tracks mandate Hoosier. So, but I mean, American Racer had some of their problems too. But what are you going to do? You have absolutely no control over.
35s and 55s.
Well, I don't understand why they went to all this new crap anyway.
What about a hard tire rule?
At first, I was against that hard tire rule at Hagerstown, but after we ran it a while, it kind of grew on me.
The 1600 rule.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I didn't like it at first either. But then whenever you just knew that, like, everybody, I mean, I understand some people don't like it because everybody's got to run the same thing. But, like, it took a lot of guesswork out. It took a lot of extra tires out of the scenario.
My whole, and I don't have an answer, but I mean, we had some good tires before. I know if Hoosiers thinking that they had too many compounds, which they did, why didn't you just get rid of some and come down to 4 or 5?
And then they made more.
Yeah.
We're coming out with 2s, 3s, and 4s, and then we're going to come out with a 2.5 and a 2.2 and a 2.
Well, it depends on what American Racer does, and we'll come out with a different one. Yeah, like 35 and 55s, like back in the day, would be perfect, but I think that ship has sailed.
Do you think everything ought to be open?
Well, I'm not really for having like 27 different compounds, but whether you run Hoosiers or American Racers, that ought to be up to the racer.
What do you think about grooving and siping?
I know how much James and Scott put in each tire, and like I say, that's a lot of time during the week.
I know people don't care for it, but I've always been somebody to say, let's just pull them out of the truck and bolt them on and run them.
Yeah.
But now, then you go to another racetrack, and you have tires that ain't grooved and siped that needs grooved and siped.
And like I say, there again, you can't get the promoters to agree on any kind of uniform rules. That was one nice thing about the modified. You could go from here to 2/3 of the way across the country, and your car's going to be legal. Well, you can't go 40 miles up or down the road without changing something on your car.
Well, Darrell, did you ever notice that the guys, I remember every time I used to say something about cutting cost, you'd have this mouthy guy that had money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nobody in particular. And the first thing they hollered is, if you can't afford it, then you need to go to another division.
Yeah.
And I'd say a good 90% of them people is no longer in racing anymore.
I agree.
Because as soon as you talked about a tire roll, or you talked about doing something like small teams like we got, there's not enough hours in the week to prepare tires. There's not enough hours in the week to go over all this stuff. And they've gotten to the point so far where you're doing so much shock work, so much suspension work, so much cleaning, maintaining the engine, that it's very hard for a 2-person, 3-person team.
It's not a hobby anymore, that's for sure.
No.
And that's saying.
But I'm saying the guys that used to holler,
yeah,
if you don't like it, if it's too much work for you, too much money, blah, 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 most of them guys aren't around anymore. The money ran out.
Yeah. I mean, we worked our own stuff because we couldn't afford to pay anybody else to do it. So here, the people that can work on their own stuff are still standing. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's the truth.
Well, it's getting to the point now where you can't even work on your own stuff hardly.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the teams that have went out.
Oh yeah.
And got shock specialists and
tire
specialists, and stuff like that. I mean, you have to know what you're doing, basically.
James says we're all going to be going into the Crown Vic class before it's over with.
Yes.
I talked about that today. Some guy said, "You mean they race Crown Vics?" I said, "Yes. This time you get to ride in the front, not the back."
Yep.
He said, "That sounds like an awesome class." I said, "Well, you know what? They've already caught him cheating."
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
I watched some of those videos. I mean, they run them all up and down the East Coast, and it's like, I don't think those guys know they're only running probably for a couple $100. They think it's thousands.
Did you see the guy that hit the wall and opened the door up to get out?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
He hit the wall, Shirley, and he opens the door up to get out of the car.
And it was a hard hit, too.
It was a hard hit.
Yeah.
My big argument right now with them is, and I've asked numerous people, and nobody wants to really give me a reason, but I want to know why they can't run a 6-point cage. What does it hurt to put 2 down bars down to the rear of the car?
Yeah, especially since they're like cheating up the computers and everything else.
They're rolling pretty good now.
I guarantee you.
And I mean, it's like I said, well, wouldn't it be safe if you all ran 2 down bars to the floor? Make it mandatory where they have to go, where they have to be welded, whatever. And it's like, I'm not bashing many. I'm just saying, you got a 4-point cage. It is pretty cool what they're doing, them cage kits now. Did you see them up at Bernheisel?
Yep.
Them babies are powder coated and everything. All you got to do is drill holes in the frame, drop them babies in, and weld them up, and you're about ready to go racing. It looks like a fun class, but man, I just don't know.
I know. I mean, without any kind of tech, which is, I mean, I've been official, but I would never ever be a tech man. But that's what they need in all these classes.
That's what they need everywhere.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have to say, BAPS. I mean, you're never going to stop all the cheating, but they make an effort.
Well, just the effort is what means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that. I mean, you just know that some of this stuff just like runs a lot better than it should.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, going back to the 4-cylinder days, but at least poke around a little bit.
Yeah, those guys running Esslinger motors whenever you was running J&S salvage and bottom ends.
Yeah.
Going back to your racing, Darrell, accidents that you've had, what's the hardest hit? What class was you in? And
When his wife
what
hit him in the
happened?
head coming in the house.
The hardest hit was probably Cumberland when I hopped that guy's wheel and thought I was going to go out of the racetrack. The takeoff wasn't bad, but the landing hurt. But the worst I ever got hurt was at Winber, driving Todd's car.
Yeah, the first time we ever raced against each other. And
And
Darrell hit that uke tire.
I hit that uke tire, and I thought it broke my thumb off my hand. And it still hurts to this day. That's the worst I ever got hurt.
Darrell, I always considered Darrell a good driver. Shirley. I did. I always thought Darrell was a pretty good driver. So when we got a chance to race at Wimber against each other, I was like, this could be awesome. I get to race against that guy that mentored me, you know. And I'm like, I can't remember if I was behind you or in front of you, but I just remember seeing the car like spin and hit this uke tire. And he come in, Shirley, and he's like, I don't know how anybody drives that car.
And wins
like
it. And wins
like Sonny
it.
Williamson won a lot of races in that
Yes.
car. Well, then like the following week, Brad Jones got in it and run like second at Winchester with it.
Shows you how good a driver I was.
And Darrell's like, I don't know how anybody runs good. He said the steering guy like this much. You got to know the guy that owned it. I love him to death. But like one day we walked over, Shirley, and he had these carburetor studs that was like 6 inches long with like nuts that was too big to fit, like to take up space so he could tighten it down. And I'm like, why did you do that? He's like, well, that's the only thing I could find. Like, I mean, like these cars won races, and like, if you looked at them, you'd be like, how?
Well, do you remember when we went there, that they were going to change gears? And he just went over in a corner and picked up a ring gear and a pinion gear and threw it together. I was like, how's that going to work? It did.
Yeah, yeah. But they wasn't. Some of them guys wasn't light on equipment. Remember, that's the first place we ever seen an aftermarket crank.
Yeah.
He's like, check this out, and he takes this rag off this engine, and it's had a picture of a animal on it or something. I can't remember what it was. And I'm like, what the heck is that? He's like, that's a such and such crank, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was big or just steel or what. But we're like, holy crap, where'd you find that at? I mean, them guys, they lived it, you know.
Well, that crash I had at Cumberland, I hurt the front of my car, and I was running for UMP points, and Will said, just drive mine. And I went the next night, and I don't know if I had cracked ribs, broken ribs, but it hurt. And I drove his car. I was like, how do you drive this thing? And then the same thing happened that he crashed his, and I said, well, take mine. He said, how do you drive this thing? But we both won races in them, but they weren't anywhere close to being the same.
Was it the purple car?
Yeah.
The car with the manipulated rear bumper so it would go in the frame. You remember that?
Yeah. And the Ford Cross member in the Chevrolet.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that bumper that one side they had to make it go up or down.
'cause the frame was bent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing was still whooping.
Won races.
So, real quickly here, we're going over, but I did want to touch on your championships here for a little bit. How's it feel to have 2 in 1 year? I mean, was you down at Winchester like watching the live scoring?
Absolutely, I was. I think Scott had a pretty good lead, but they're not over till they're over. You know that. And the same with James. We had, I think, enough of a lead, but until they say you're the champion, you're not the champion.
Well, I tell you, I don't know what Bill welded on that car, but that freaking thing was That thing was in a league of its own up there that
Yeah.
last race.
Yep. I
It
mean,
was
at first it was talk about taking it to Masterbuilt, put it on the jig, and then Bill said, "I ain't getting on the jig. I'm going to weld that piece in, and we're going to go win." And that's exactly what he did.
It was fast.
It was fast.
It's amazing. He must have been around Will Rao a couple times.
Well, I guarantee you.
Remember the time Will took the drive shaft and laid it in
Yeah.
the angle iron and welded it together? Everybody's like, that would never work.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah. That was a special year. I mean, both teams had super years, even if just one or the other would have had, but to have both of them happen at the same time, it's an omen.
Well, I'm happy for you, Darrell.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. It's been you wouldn't get into some of this stuff I wanted you. I wanted you to really give us a nitty gritty on this sport.
Well,
but
I mean, complaining about
I understand that you're
they're
scared.
not going to change it, so there's no either you race with the rules they come out with, or you find something else to do. You complaining about it isn't going to change it.
Is that right? My wife tells me that all the time.
She speaks the truth.
Yes, unfortunately.
I'd like to hear it.
Real fast this weekend, Bedford is racing the 8th annual Keystone Cup Fall Clash Series. Friday, they're having twin features for $2,500 to win. Semi-lace, pure stocks, and 4-cylinders. Then Saturday, $25,000 to win. Super late models. Late model sportsmen's, modifieds, and Crown Vics. You'll see James and
Yep,
Justin up there running their Crown Vic. They can ask Beans about that. He's ran 2 Crown Vic races and wrecked both times. Path is going to have the Bull Ring Nationals. Friday night, 600s and 1,000 to win. TA Ward 270 micro sprints, wingless super sportsmen's, trunk or treat at intermission time. Saturday is limited late models, 4-cylinder Thunders mods, 4-cylinders strictly stocks. It's $700 to win for Thunder cars and $100 hard charger and $150 hard luck award courtesy of TB's Body Shop. Also having trunk or treat during intermission on Saturday night also. BAPS is a Britain finger binder memorial. Easy for me to say, isn't it?
It is.
410 sprints and wingless super sportsmen's. Thundering Rock Raceway. Here you go, Darrell. I'm not sure what the second part of this is. Run what you brung, gut and go.
That's for the deer hunters. you race 5 laps and go to deer. Climb back in.
I wonder if it's gut a interior and go, maybe. Like a stock car, I don't know.
Up there, it could be either.
But racing is winding down around here. What's Darrell going to be doing till... I guess you're just getting ready to get into busy season, aren't you?
I don't know.
New body season's coming up.
We don't know who's racing and where they're racing, if they're racing.
Got
Time
to
will tell.
wait till the rules come out.
Yeah. See if there's any bodies to build.
If I was you, I'd quit right now. I mean,
I
there ain't too many times that you
No.
have 2 teams that
stalwart
have the seasons that they had, and you weld a car back together that's had pieces ripped off of it,
Yeah.
So
and
you're
go out
saying
and win the
quit
race.
under a good note.
Yes, quit on top.
I'm telling you right now, I'm frustrated. You can check every nut and bolt. You can measure everything. You can make everything perfect and run freaking 8th. And Bill Malott can weld a freaking mount in.
The worst part about that is when he cut that piece, that Panhard bar mount out of the car, and Scott wanted...
It didn't move or anything, did it? Like it was
it
sprung?
twisted, but I mean, you saw the pictures, but Tater was supposed to send the part out, and Bill said, "Oh, I could just go up to Brickers and buy a piece of boxing and weld 2 tabs on the side of it."
Well, ain't that what it is?
Well, yeah, but they thought it was going to be like jig bent, but as it turns out, when the box came that they paid Red Label for, it was a piece of 2x2 heavy wall boxing with 2 tabs in the box. He was livid.
And Bill's like, I could have made that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That gave him time to go to a football game or something.
I don't know how he does it.
Well, congrats to you guys, Darrell. Congrats to
Thank you. It's been a good year.
the 8 Nation, and congrats to the Palmer team. Both running the Masterbuilt cars with championships and good seasons. Appreciate Darrell coming in. I didn't think he would do it again, but he did. So I know I have a lot of people come tell me that they love the old racing stories. So hopefully we.
Yeah, if you want to hear some stories that's censored, see Darrell at the track.
Or call Mike.
Oh, Justin Weaver saying that James's body is 3 years old. Let's go to the dome.
It's already got the deck knocked out of it.
There you go. It won't take that long to put deck panels back in. James would be exciting at the dome.
Oh, yeah.
You can pick out a new car while you're out there. A new Masterbuilt.
No.
I don't know. All these people talking about getting new cars. If mine ran like that, I don't know if I'd get a new one. I'm trying to get this stuff out of the way. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Darrell, and appreciate everybody tuning in. And thanks to WRGG 93.7 and TA Ward Construction. I don't know what next week holds. I got some family stuff getting ready to start here in the next week here, and I'm going to have to play it day by day, but hope to see everyone next Tuesday. If not, I'll try to get back in here as soon as I can. And enjoying this weather, enjoy the fall weather, and have a great week, and we'll see you later.